There's something powerful about watching someone build their dream from nothing but confidence, ambition, and the courage to be seen. In a world where millions scroll endlessly through perfect photos and polished lifestyles, very few people manage to create a presence that actually feels real. That's what makes Georgia Caine stand out. Her journey is not just about fashion, modeling, or social media fame. It's about transformation, self-belief, and the determination to create opportunities instead of waiting for them to appear. Before we dive into the inspiring story of Georgia Caine, make sure you subscribe to Sweet Models World for more powerful biographies, lifestyle stories, and inspiring journeys from the world's most influential fashion icons and digital creators. Every story here is proof that dreams can become reality with persistence and confidence. Georgia Caine's rise into the fashion and influencer space feels cinematic because it reflects the modern reality of chasing dreams in the digital age. Unlike the old modeling industry where opportunities were limited to a select few discovered by chance, Georgia represents a new generation of creators who built visibility through authenticity, consistency, and relentless effort. Her story resonates with people because she didn't wait for permission to pursue modeling. She created her own path. Born and raised in Australia, Georgia grew up surrounded by a culture that embraced outdoor living, confidence, creativity, and self-expression. From an early age, she developed an appreciation for style, beauty, and the art of presentation. But like many young women entering the fashion world, the journey was not always simple. The modeling industry has historically placed enormous pressure on women to fit narrow beauty standards, and many aspiring models struggle with self-confidence while trying to fit into unrealistic expectations. Georgia's story became especially inspiring because she embraced her individuality instead of hiding it. Early in her career, she personally organized photo shoots, reached out to agencies herself, and pushed forward even without guarantees of success. That determination became one of the foundations of her career. Instead of waiting to be discovered, she decided to discover herself first. Her breakthrough into modeling demonstrated an important lesson that many young creators can relate to today. Success often starts with initiative. Georgia built her portfolio independently, collaborated with photographers, and approached agencies with confidence. Eventually, her persistence paid off when she began receiving recognition within the fashion industry. What makes Georgia Caine's presence so compelling online is the balance between glamour and relatability. On Instagram, audiences are constantly searching for perfection, yet they connect most deeply with authenticity. Georgia managed to build a brand that combines high fashion energy with approachable confidence. Her content reflects lifestyle, wellness, beauty, fashion, travel, and personal growth, but it also carries an undercurrent of empowerment. Followers are drawn not only to her appearance, but to the confidence she projects. One of the most remarkable parts of her story is how she evolved within the curve modeling space. In a fashion industry that has gradually become more inclusive, curve models have helped redefine beauty standards across social media and major fashion campaigns. Georgia became part of that movement by embracing body confidence and showing that beauty exists beyond outdated expectations. That shift is important because modern audiences are no longer inspired solely by perfection. They are inspired by confidence, resilience, and self-acceptance. Georgia's journey reflects a larger cultural change happening across fashion and social media. Women today are increasingly encouraged to celebrate individuality instead of chasing impossible standards. Her career became proof that authenticity can be powerful enough to build influence. As her online audience continued to grow, Georgia's influence extended beyond modeling photos. Like many successful Instagram fashion influencers, she learned how to create a visual identity that people instantly recognize. From carefully styled outfits to lifestyle photography and confident poses, every image contributed to building a recognizable personal brand. Her content represents aspiration, but it also communicates freedom and self-expression. Social media influencing is often misunderstood as effortless glamour, but the reality behind the scenes requires creativity, discipline, consistency, and emotional resilience. Influencers must constantly evolve while staying relevant in a rapidly changing digital landscape. Georgia's ability to maintain audience engagement reflects both her adaptability and understanding of modern content culture. The rise of Instagram influencers has transformed the fashion industry completely. Social media creators now shape trends, brand partnerships, and online engagement on a massive scale. Georgia belongs to a generation of digital personalities who turned online platforms into career opportunities, proving that creativity combined with strategy can create global visibility. But beyond the polished images and collaborations lies another important part of Georgia's story: growth. Many successful creators eventually realize that influence carries responsibility. Audiences look up to influencers not only for fashion inspiration but for motivation and confidence. Georgia's modeling journey has inspired many followers who may have once doubted their own beauty, worth, or potential. Her story also highlights the importance of reinvention. Careers in social media evolve rapidly. What works today may not work tomorrow. Successful influencers survive by staying creative, learning constantly, and adapting to changing trends. Georgia's ability to remain visible in the fashion and lifestyle space reflects her understanding of personal branding and audience connection. There's also something deeply motivational about the way she transformed uncertainty into opportunity. Many people dream about becoming models or influencers, but fear often stops them from taking the first step. Georgia's story sends a different message. It suggests that confidence is not something you wait to feel before pursuing your goals. Confidence is built through action. That message matters especially for younger audiences navigating a world dominated by comparison culture. Social media can sometimes create unrealistic expectations and insecurity. Yet creators like Georgia demonstrate that success often begins when people stop comparing themselves to others and start embracing their own unique identity. The cinematic nature of her rise comes from the contrast between ordinary beginnings and extraordinary ambition. Imagine a young woman organizing her own shoots, sending emails to agencies, building a portfolio from scratch, and refusing to quit despite uncertainty. Those moments rarely appear in glamorous Instagram posts, but they are the moments that truly define success. As her visibility increased, Georgia also became part of a wider movement reshaping fashion representation. The modern modeling world is becoming more diverse and inclusive, with audiences celebrating authenticity more than ever before. Curve models, lifestyle influencers, and digital creators now have the power to inspire millions without conforming to outdated industry rules. Her journey reminds us that influence is no longer controlled solely by traditional gatekeepers. Social media created a new era where creators can build their own audiences directly. People connect emotionally with stories, personalities, and authenticity. Georgia understood that and used it to create a meaningful digital presence. Another reason audiences connect with Georgia Caine is the aspirational atmosphere surrounding her content. Whether showcasing fashion, travel, wellness, or beauty, her visuals communicate freedom, confidence, and self-expression. Followers often look to influencers not just for style inspiration, but for emotional inspiration. They want to feel motivated, empowered, and capable of creating better lives for themselves. That emotional connection is what separates temporary popularity from lasting influence. Trends fade quickly online, but authenticity leaves a stronger impression. Georgia's continued relevance reflects the loyalty she built through relatability and confidence rather than superficial perfection alone. There's also an important entrepreneurial side to influencer culture that often goes unnoticed. Building a personal brand requires strategic thinking, communication skills, networking, content planning, and business awareness. Successful influencers are not simply posting photos. They are managing collaborations, understanding audience behavior, negotiating partnerships, and constantly refining their brand identity. Georgia's growth within the fashion and social media space reflects that entrepreneurial mindset. She represents a generation of creators who transformed digital platforms into legitimate careers through persistence and creativity. That journey can inspire anyone chasing unconventional dreams. For aspiring models watching her story, there's an important lesson hidden beneath the glamour. Your beginning does not define your ending. Many successful creators started with uncertainty, rejection, or self-doubt. The difference is that they continued moving forward anyway. Georgia's career reflects the power of consistency and belief in your own vision. Her influence also highlights the changing definition of beauty in modern culture. Audiences today celebrate individuality more openly than previous generations. Confidence, personality, authenticity, and self-expression have become just as important as traditional beauty standards. Georgia's success exists within that cultural shift. As Instagram continues evolving, creators face increasing pressure to remain innovative while maintaining genuine connections with audiences. Georgia's ability to stay visible reflects her understanding that influence is built through storytelling as much as aesthetics. Every post, collaboration, and creative decision contributes to the narrative audiences follow. The digital world moves quickly, but stories like hers remain timeless because they tap into universal emotions: ambition, resilience, self-discovery, and transformation. People are inspired by journeys that remind them they can reinvent themselves too. Perhaps that's the real reason Caine's biography resonates with so many viewers. It's not simply about modeling success. It's about courage. The courage to pursue opportunities independently. The courage to embrace personal identity. The courage to remain visible in a world filled with criticism and comparison. And in many ways, her story represents the future of modern influence. Today's most impactful creators are not necessarily those who appear the most perfect. They're the ones who make people feel seen, inspired, and empowered. As Georgia continues growing her influence across fashion and lifestyle platforms, her journey serves as a reminder that success rarely happens overnight. Behind every glamorous photo are years of effort, experimentation, setbacks, and perseverance. What audiences see as effortless confidence is often built through countless moments of uncertainty and determination. That's why stories like hers matter. They remind dreamers that progress begins with taking action, even before everything feels perfect. They remind creators that individuality can become strength. And they remind audiences that confidence is often the result of persistence, not perfection. Caine's rise from aspiring model to recognized Instagram fashion influencer is ultimately a story about self-belief. It's about choosing to step into the spotlight despite fear and refusing to let limitations define your future. Her journey continues inspiring followers who want to build confidence, pursue creativity, and embrace their authentic selves. If you enjoyed this inspirational biography and want more cinematic stories about rising models, fashion influencers, and digital icons from around the world, subscribe to Sweet Models World and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful journey. The next success story could inspire your own.